I also know that back to school is already on everyone's mind. We're hearing a lot of questions, and I appreciate that. So I want to ask our Chief of Staff, Clark Mercer, to come up and perhaps clarify a bit and maybe answer some of those questions as we move forward. Clark, welcome.
Thank you, Governor. So we have gotten a lot of questions and inquiries and suggestions about our kids going back to school this fall, and we have a number of parents in this administration with young children. We understand just how stressful and intense it has been to have our children home with us over the last several months. I can assure you we appreciate the juggling act that parents throughout the Commonwealth have been doing. And I wanted to clarify, we've gotten some inquiries from our state legislators as well as parents of students around the Commonwealth. And a few weeks ago, we released the state's guidance for Virginia's pre-K through 12 schools to help with their reopening plans. The Virginia guidance document, it aligns with CDC guidance for reopening and provides considerations for school divisions in the first 3 phases of reopening. And we are all going into phase 3 next week throughout the Commonwealth. It is intended to inform the discussions happening at the local level, but it does not mandate any one particular approach. Guidance is not law. This is up to your local school boards to decide how they're going to open responsibly. Virginia is a very diverse state. We have the infection rates that we have seen on these graphs. They are different throughout the Commonwealth. We appreciate that. As we reopen and as school boards grapple with their ability to reopen, teaching remotely, they need to take all of these things into consideration. It has been represented that the guidance is in fact law to these localities. That is not the case. Certainly we will continue and would like to take suggestions from legislators and from parents throughout the Commonwealth. But if you do not know your local school board member, most of our school boards throughout the Commonwealth are elected. A handful of them are appointed. I would encourage you to get to know your school board members and discuss the reopening plans for your jurisdictions with them. The final decisions about reopening are squarely in the hands of local school boards. Local public health conditions, community concerns, and practical facility constraints have to be taken into account in these school reopening decisions. And we believe our local leaders are best positioned to do that thoughtfully. Those communities with no or little transmission should also consider the CDC guidance on those particular circumstances. The state's guidance document recommended 3 phases of reopening, and like Virginia's businesses, we recommend that schools enter phase 3 next week. And I will say all of this in terms of reopening, whether it's businesses or schools, are predicated on doing so responsibly and making sure that that graph that we see with the infection rate stays steady or declines. As the governor said, we do not want to see Virginia in the position of several other states that are seeing sharp increases. That's the worst thing that can happen. We have had some comments about transmission among our youth and how impactful that is to their health. We also have to keep in mind, one, we have a number of youth throughout the country becoming infected, especially in other states where we see the transmissions increasing. That 18 to 29-year-old age set is now the fastest increasing age set for positive cases. We have plenty of teachers and faculty and staff, from our janitors to folks that work in the cafeteria to our teachers to our principals and administration, who are in that age set where they would be very susceptible to COVID. And as anyone that has children know, once something starts spreading into school, you will get it at home, and we expose our family members, our grandparents, our aunt and uncles, and folks throughout the community. We all know how quickly viruses spread through school-age children. So by way of reminder, phase 3 of our guidance recommends all students be served in person with consideration for mitigation strategies such as physical distancing in place that may trigger altered schedules. And it's important to note, phase 3 is not the end state for our schools. Each phase we've had has been several weeks long, and phase 3 will be as well as the governor and his team evaluate the health data. We know that full-time, in-person instruction for all our students is critically important to their academic growth and their personal well-being. And we also recognize its importance for parents getting back to work. As Virginia's numbers continue to trend positively, we have moved through these reopening phases expeditiously. But the phase guidance we issued did not include guidance for beyond Phase 3. Those discussions are underway with our education and public health experts. And the guidance for beyond Phase 3 will include a path to getting every student in school every day and increasing opportunities for athletics and activities while remaining vigilant about the health of our students and staff. So I hope that clarifies to our localities and our local school boards as they grapple with these decisions. And again, I would just end with where the governor has started and talked at every press conference. This is all predicated on being smart about our own choices, wearing the facial coverings, remaining socially distanced, taking common sense approaches to curb the spread of this disease. And that's how we're going to be able to open up our schools responsibly and get our students back in the classroom. Thank you.